It was a wonderful item, and a remind how trump card is each ignorant of the rules by that Washington historically planned or he just doesn't thoroughness. Each path, the 55 min say a-thon, on migration or, as is common for trump card, lot of some things, manufactured a quantity of wonderful channel of the captain in head. Under are the 40 how stood out to me. 1. We've much stiffened, as you aware. And off we go. Trump card is speaking on the boundary and how his policies include cut downward on not documentary migrant incoming the nation. 2. They're not giver you their top names, they're giver you human beings they don't wish. 3. I'm attractive to all in the chamber to put the nation upside, and to sit downward and conduct negotiations and to trade off, and allow see if we can get thing made. A nice link there by trump card, and one how largest Americans will answer so too. 1. Caution, fair up manufacturing the urge for bipartisan system, he emphasized how down there as necessary to be a side constructed on the nation's southern boundary. How's not thing Democrats accept in. 4. So perhaps the clique can remain for a slight time and a pair of guys can do statements. Slight did we aware. 5. It could be a nice way of start. I believe, start in the building. Start in the building. Trump card yet doesn't get how the CEO tends not to do the telephone call on wherever a chunk of law starts. Members of convention guardsmen their capacity to dictatorship their own schedules and strategies really close and loathe while the head execution tries to dictatorship regulation to them. The is real not fair in Trump card, but in all presidents in the contemporary epoch. 6. At a specific spot perhaps I'll fair castle the doors and I win let nobody out before they go and accept. Laughter if you wish, and Trump card was joke, but the isn't a horrible concept. 7. Down there are so lot points of treaty, and lot of he's overall feeling. The is the release of Trump card lot Republicans, particularly in convention, were hoping they selected. A entrepreneur managed by overall feeling and the lower link. Who not obliged to the rooted supporter ways of the history or, thus, capable to achieve out in nice belief to resolve previous intractable problems. The Trump card they got, at low for the extensive most of his at first year in office space, isn't how. 8. We had wars, law, Lindsay. 9. Usually you wouldn't include a CEO upcoming to the meet. Usually, openly, thou'd include Democrats, Republicans and perhaps anything would get made. Trump card is hard nested in the concept how he is making things no some CEO has made. That, occasionally, is real. And occasionally is not real. 10. I listened so lot on earmarks, the old distinctive feature framework, how down there was a large amiability while you had earmarks. Large amiability. The top. 11. Perhaps all of you should begin thought on departure behind to a shape of earmarks. The is wonderful, and completely indicating of the chair of the pants attitude Trump card conducted to all things. The, recall, is a meet allegedly on migration, DACA and the boundary side in special. And as well recall how building Republicans did off in earmarks following D taking the most in 2010, substantially at the decree of inbound orator John Boehner. Trump card's not incorrect how earmarks frequently oiled the skids to get log on. I've marked how one of the major reasons congressional leaders include such a difficult period receive log on is since earmarks are lost and they include no carrot, or adhere, to incentivize vacillating associate. He's fair wonderful how same's earning it up law at the time. 12. The framework very lends himself to not receive on 100% law. But the framework Trump card is speaking on, absence of earmarks, is just portion of a more extensive policy fact, supporter figure of building districts, external groups financing ideologic extremists, how add to the failure of the two sides to get on. Or, vary, for members of the identical side, but various ideologic habits, to get on. 13. Thou can say which you wish on specific presidents and other, wherever they all say on they went out to lunch at overnight and they all got on, and they gone billing. Trump card seems nostalgia there for a various type of policy. It is completely real down there, utilized to be more than crucifix party socializing and hobnobbing rather than down there is currently. And how trump card, who has rotated hobnobbing in an art shape, might include prospered more than in how preliminary policy planet. 14. Since our framework law currently, the way he set up, will never give human beings a long. Same's not incorrect. 15. I believe you should see at a shape of earmarks. I see Lindsay nodding, really difficult affirmative. Nice OLE Lindsay. Remind, Graham, who ran versus Trump card in the 2016 initial, one day told thee of the actual property tycoon, I believe same's eccentric. I believe same's mad. I believe same's unsuitable for office space. 16. I'm not speaking on Trump card. No one goes tertiary, man love Trump card. Not though Chris Dill is a. 17. I recall while I utilized to go out in Washington and I'd see Democrats possessing lunch in Republicans and they were top friends and all got on. Okay, the maybe stretch things a slight. Perhaps more than rather than a slight. 18. We're departure to get DACA made. I expect we're departure to get DACA made. I am departure to get how as a certain perhaps. 19. Yet perhaps you should begin earning behind a conception of earmarks, he's departure to give you along. Did I refer earmarks? Reason how could be exciting. Decision to all of our problems. Or perhaps number 20. Same nation is making so in so lot ways. But down there's such a divisiveness. Which's wonderful there is how Trump card seems completely ignorant of the part he has play in the nation's divisiveness. How's not to say we weren't separated up 2016, we were, but it is to say how Trump card reinforced such divisions for policy profit, and continues to do so. 21. If we do the correctly, DACA, thou're not so far off of inclusive migration reformation, and if you wish to get it how future move, I'll get the warmth, I don't thoroughness. HMMMMMM. To be precise, down there is no DACA transactions still. But Trump card is already promise how while inclusive migration reformation passes, he will get the policy warmth. Down there's several bigly wagon before the horsism departure on there. 22. My entire lifetime has been warmth. I love warmth, in a specific path. The is the top quotation. On a associated mention, I've ever been more than of a common cold boy. 23. Thou are partly more than conventional political community, rather than me. Lead in the club for underreporting of the year. 24. If you wish to research earmarks to give us all along so we all get along and do thing, I believe you should research he. Earmarks, always heard of it? By the government of the next. 25. If you wish to get it a move future. 26. I'm signature it. I indicate, I will be signature he. To be precise, same signature it. Doesn't question which he is. 27. We're departure to go up in DACA. Republicans refuge T signed off on how, particularly in no acquiescence on boundary safety or side building. 28. We'll do DACA and we can surely begin inclusive migration reformation. The next afternoon, okay. This seems lightweight quite. Which's how you tell. Do DACA isn't a reliable way to resolve the deadlock? 29. I don't believe he's departure to be how complex. Inclusive migration reformation? Lightweight peasy. 30. How's why we do it a stage couple. We do a stage A, that is DACA and safety, and we do stage couple, that is inclusive migration. C. We can urge it stage A since we already include a stage A. Inviting it stage couple is our following top stock option. 31. Of the nice things, since of our rhetorical, or since of same, you aware, my perceivable relation, less human beings are hard to go via. He's the rhetorical housebreak human beings of upcoming in the US? As well, which does Trump card indicate by perceivable relation? Isn't it fair his relation? 32 Reason Act Defense on the A-yard link. To halt them of counting a landing? I'm spitballing there. The quotation comes of Representative Henry Cuellar, that I've done an exclusion and turned on since he's so nice. 33 I'd loving not to construct the side. But you requirement the side. I'm not certainly trump card would loving not to construct the side. 34 You aware, you say to the agents, and I tell to all of them. I lived in them. No he didn't. Dwell in them, I indicate. 35 Or later we can go to inclusive after on, never go inclusive previous on. Gets you bloated. 36 I love to go by budget, front of plan. Identical. 37 I believe my official position are departure to be which the human beings in the chamber go up in. The is the largest demonstration item trump card told in the whole 55 protocol. He doesn't include any difficult and fast view on migration. Not very. He wants the side since he pledged the basis he would get the side. Yet, very, he fair wants a transactions. 38 When they go to me in things I'm not in loving in, I'm departure to do he. To quotation Donald Trump card, I'm signature it. I indicate, I will be signature he. 39 Oprah would be a lot of entertainment. Just Trump card would say the on a capacity 2020 enemy. He knows, of year, how erasing among him and Oprah Winfrey would be the largest top profile campaigning in us story. Or, affirmative, he would loving how. 40 I expect we've taken into account you quite content. How should lid you for on 2 weeks? Oh, you did.